Hello, this is Maja, and I'm a part of the Associate Trainer program. This is my second submission, but this time it's with my 6-year-old mare called Oprah. Oprah has been with me for 2 months, and I've done mostly lunging and work in hand with her. In the lunging, she has a tendency to fall out and float away with her shoulder and not step under with her hind legs. Sometimes when I lunge, I go quite a lot behind the shoulder, and this is because I feel that she gets more support from me and she does calm down much more. So already here we have quite a nice walk. She's not stretching as much as I'd like to, and there you saw her floating out and not wanting to step under and over with her hind leg. So she gets a bit irritated at me for telling her to use her hind legs more. So in this paddock, you're not really supposed to lunge, so I constantly have to move around to not leave marks. So that's why I will be moving a lot. When I start my lunging sessions, I usually let her out on the line, but still stay quite close to her because, as I said, she hasn't been doing this for that long, only 2 months, so she is quite green in the area. You will sometimes see me do a bit smaller circles, and this is because I want her to really get round and move her inside hind leg out from me. If I would give myself a tip to the next time I'm lunging, I would say not to push her as much because she has only been doing this for 2 months, and as you can see right there, she um, raises her head and drops her back. So a bit more understanding that she isn't physically able to do what I am asking. We do have some nice moments still. There it came a horse that's been out riding outside. Here I feel she has a nice flow through her body. You can really see that she's moving through her body, and it's a nice wave through. Then again, she floats out with her shoulder, and I correct her, and she gets a bit stressed. So I will try to not push her as much next time. About now, there she kind of tripped with her back leg, and I believe it's because she isn't strong enough. So sometimes she doesn't have the strength to really follow through the motion and really step under. And there I thought it was a nice stretch. Because of her not being strong enough, I get parts of a really nice stretch and then parts of her kind of lowering her head but not working through her back. I have had side reins on her, and it makes her work really through her back and push up with her back. But since she has been a bit swollen where the saddle lies, she hasn't been ridden for about a month before this session. So I've been doing mostly lunging and working hand with her. And here she offers me a quite nice stretch. she really swings through her body, and yeah, but as soon as her shoulder floats out, she drops her back and comes up with her head. I would probably tell myself to do even more work in hand, because that will help her with her shoulder not floating out, and helping her to step under with her hind leg. So even if she offers me a nice stretch on the lunge line, I would probably need more work in hand to really get that nice stretch. And there she came up again. So when doing lunging, we really want the horse to understand what we want with the whip. So when I ask her even more to step under and so, you can see she kind of runs away. It is because she isn't strong enough, so I'm still not concerned of it. So when doing lunging, we really want the horse to understand our aid, as I said. And to make them understand what we want, we need to prepare them. And when we prepare them, we usually do this by work in hand. Working in hand is easier for the horse to understand because we are closer to them and can help them with our body language even more because we're even closer to the horse. So she offers me a nice stretch, and I really like how she swings through her body, and with a lot more muscle she will eventually be more consistent in her stretch. Now I come into a bit smaller circle and she offers me a really nice stretch, so I try to just maintain that as good as I can, and soon you will see me stop her to reward her and change directions. So now I have changed directions and we will just do the same thing but in the other lap. So in this lap I am just doing the exactly same thing, only walk today, and the entire session was about 15 minutes only, and I felt that it was enough for this particular day. So starting out, I'm quite close as I was in the other direction, and as you can see she's quite fast on her step, but still she offers me a nice stretch, and I'm trying to get a hold of how today is in this direction. So right about now I push her and she comes up, but then she comes down a bit again. She has a quite a mediocre stretch. It's nothing to brag about right this second, but we do have moments when she really stretches and flows through her body. But as I said, this is her harder lap, and when we do get those moments, they're really worth the training. So some days when I lunge, I kind of lose the contact with the mouth, and I really like being quite close to her because then I can really feel when she stretches down into the contact. So when we lunge, we really want a contact with the mouth, but a soft one. We do not want the horse to pull. I feel like sometimes I lose that, or it gets kind of non-consistent. But I still think we're doing well in this video. Um, Sometimes she floats out with her shoulder in this direction as well, but this is because she doesn't have the strength to keep her body in a correct position. So here she has a really nice movement through her body, but I don't feel like she's pushing through her back as much as she could. She could lower her head a bit more and really get that push up. When she does get that really, really low stretch, it's usually just for a couple of steps or one at a time. And this is why I do a lot of work in hand as well, so that I don't waste my time just going around in circles, not getting the effect that I want. So I really try to keep her active, and I think she's doing a great job today, having an active walk um, with a nice motion through her body. So I think that she's giving me a real nice active walk here. It's not too fast, but I would like her to lower her head even more so that she could really land on her step and get that thrust that she has forward up through her back. And there you can see just a few steps of that nice stretch that is a bit lower. So usually when we lunch we do some trot work as well, but today it just didn't happen because I felt that we didn't have a big enough surface to trot on. I think it's okay to make a bit smaller circles in the walk. I don't think it's too damaging for them, but in the trot I really want her to be in balance and on a larger circle than she's able to right now. So therefore we're just walking today, and I feel like walk work is really underestimated. Um, it's easier for you as a rider and a trainer to affect the horse in the walk work, and I think it's easier for the horse to understand what you want without giving such big reactions. So right now we're just walking as we have been, and I still feel like she's active and she has a nice motion through her body. And there she started trotting by herself. And as you see, she kind of lowers her head after that trot and offers a nicer walk after that just tiny bit of trot. Sometimes it's good to just trot 10 steps and not trot for the rest of the session, just to get that stretch and the hind legs to work even more and the horse to just get going a bit. So she offered me a really nice stretch after that trot, and as you can see, she continues with that. She still floats out with her shoulder, but that will take months to really get a hand of. So this is almost the end of our session. She gives me a really nice stretch and she swings through her body, even though she could push up through her back even more and stretch down even more. But it's all a journey, and we've only been doing this for 2 months, so as a couple, her and me, I think we've come a really long way. It's always hard to get to know a horse, and I think we've done a great job, especially since she's quite a nervous horse. So again, this is Maja from the Associate Trainer Program with my horse Oprah.